What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and we are here today with this rather scruffy-looking individual playing the next episode in our State of Decay LP. Thank you for joining me here. In the last episode, we had done some outpost building, and we had tried to handle a lot of these storyline missions. Well, now we're sort of in the same situation. So, the nature of LPing multiple series at the same time sort of causes issues with time-sensitive games like State of Decay. In fact, had I known that the game was time-sensitive, I would have run this a little bit differently. In fact, I probably would have done this as like my only series I had running and just uploaded like 2 or 3 episodes a day until we finished it. But I didn't think about those sorts of things before I started it. Instead, I just jumped straight in and was having loads of fun and decided we're going to do an LP. So with where we're at right now, let's have a look first at the events that have taken place since we left. So they want to go house hunting. There's been family drama. We are limited by fame, as always, but things actually don't seem to have gone too terribly. Nobody died, which is always really, really good, so at least nobody is dead. Who do I want to play as? Now, let's have a look at this character. Her name is Julie March, and she has no weapons. She's a student, a daydreamer, studied gymnastics. Gymnastics, no, that's what I study whenever I'm in a math class. Let's see here. Every day I thank Mom for making me... Okay, so we get better cardio. That actually makes her a really good runner. We might also think, oh, everything is quite terrible here, but Fitness Guru actually makes me think maybe we should probably use her as a character for now. I'm going to give her the G26. We'll throw some 9mm in there. We're also going to give her any large duration weapon, to be honest. Maybe like a crowbar or something. I like the crowbars. The crowbars are really nice. So we'll give her a crowbar. And let's sort of take a look at the map and figure out what we want to do with our time today. We've accumulated a really nice collection of cars here. You guys seem to be rallying towards the point that I should just be annihilating zombies everywhere with them, and I will think about that as a result, since that seems to be what you guys want to see. We have an infestation near here. In the last episode, we had somebody down in Marshall saying that we needed to come meet them, Judge Lawton. Oh, also, we had accusations, that's right. There were some raids or something going on. So let's go ahead and go talk with... Yeah, we'll do a little bit of brief scavenging. We need to recover a few little bits and bobs here and there. And at the same time, we'll get out there and we'll talk to... Oh, I forget their names. The Wilkersons, I think? We'll talk to the Wilkersons about whether or not they know anything about the raids, which I can already tell this is probably not going to go over very well. But we'll run it by everybody. I'm going to take the long way around because we can. We decided to bring the truck this time.
Attention citizens. We've had reports of armed civilians attempting to force our patrols to provide supplies. Be advised that I have authorized all troops to respond to such measures with lethal force. For your own safety, remain in your homes and wait for this to blow over.
Okay, so it sounds like a trouble is a brewing. But we've got a job to do, so that's one of the big things that I've noticed about playing this game on my own. I have my own campaign now where I'm like way out in the storyline, is that the game really tries to vie for your attention with like multiple things to do at the same time, and you don't necessarily have time to do everything every time you play the game, and that's part of that sort of time balancing element of the game, I suppose. You've really got to kind of allocate your supplies and figure out what is really, really, really pertinent and what can just kind of be left by the wayside. If you've got tons of population, you may want to just kind of leave somebody to rot if they run out and get themselves killed, if it comes down to like recovering certain things. Or if you have like a really low population, rescuing people is going to be like a really, really high priority target for you. Oh, I ran into a pole. Weak. Did they just... I can't be... Hold on. No job left undone. I like to be thorough. Our car is looking kind of beat up, and I've only ran over like 4 zombies so far. Either way, our kill count's getting better. And there's a car right there that we can bring back, so we'll just bear that in mind. Let's see what the Wilkersons have to say.
Doc?
We've been hearing some rumors on the CB. People out looking for supplies, getting robbed. Stuff like that.
I see. And you're the law on this matter, are you?
More like a concerned citizen.
Well, your concern is noted. But we haven't had any problems here. We look after our own.
And you wouldn't know anything about this, would you?
Take a walk with me, will you? Let me see if I can explain how things are. Funny thing about people, they don't much like to challenge their assumptions. Now me and my brother, we done pretty well for ourselves in all this. Other folks see that, and, well, it is in the character of very few men to honor without envy a friend who has prospered. Aeschylus said that. And an envious man is a man who will spread rumors about his neighbors.
Right. Because normally, gun-running moonshiners are such upstanding citizens.
Because we're businessmen. It's all about seeing the long game. Rob a man, and he'll give you what he's got in his pockets. You sell him what he wants, though, what he needs, and he'll keep on coming back to give you everything he has.
Did Aeschylus say that too?
Here, let's ask Mickey. Mickey, our friend here is curious if we've been stealing from our fellow survivors. Seems there are rumors to that effect.
Shit. If we was, wouldn't be anybody to spread no rumors.
See? Nothing to it. Now why don't you run along, and if we hear anything, you'll be the first to know.
Okay, well that went about as well as expected, but I wouldn't be throwing, if it was me personally, I don't throw accusations like that around like really lightly. That's kind of a rough place to be in. Can we take that tractor over there? I should also probably check out some of these barns and stuff while we're here. Got our pretty large horde over there on our right. Is this searchable? No. Okay, well that's fine. That's all I wanted to check anyways. I do like how all the little holes in the walls and whatnot are completely and totally usable. We can actually jump through them and do our deal. Let's use this survey point to see if there's anything worthwhile around that should be looked at. Obviously there's houses and things of that nature. I'm going to try and hit them all before we bring her back. What was her name again? Julie. Okay.
Made it. Gonna look around now.
So obviously you've got a horde right there. Oh, there's a screamer too. It's like some people are going to have some problems on their hands very, very shortly. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hold on. Can we go all the way around? No, sometimes these platforms on some of these... Well, I know there's something over there. I'll just head over that way on my own. God, that was ladylike. Let's jump the fence. And we'll see what kind of use... Oh, there's little apple bins. Alright. Maybe the orchard will have some resources that we can exploit. I'm going to do this very, very slowly because obviously I don't want to make a ton of ruckus while there's a horde right there and then have to run back to the Wilkersons like an idiot. There's a hoe next to the apple orchard. That could mean all kinds of things depending on your interpretation. Also looks like there may be something worth looking at down by the lake. I mean, there's zombies down there, and I don't see the developers spawning zombies down there without, like, due reason. There's a wooden branch, a chopper, and we'll also take the rucksack back with us. If it's not really useful for us, we'll end up dropping it somewhere and we'll recover it later. Yeah, our food's actually not doing so well. I mean, we've got pretty good food generation. Looks like our car is just about overrun by that horde. We'll take the yellow one that's down the road down here. I'm going to try and stay out of sight and out of mind. I really don't want to have to deal with a screamer or anything of that nature right now. We're carrying a 9mm, which does give us a tad of a range advantage. The 22 seems to fall off pretty quickly in terms of just like killability or killiness, as orcs would call it. The ability to lay enemies low, kill efficiency, whatever wordage you want to use. It definitely seems to drop off in efficiency. However, the 9mm does give a nice little kind of mid-range option. Take some of those guys out with a nice little drift right there.
Did you find anything out?
Job denied it. But I'm pretty sure they know something.
Perfect. Our friends and neighbors. What should we do?
I think for now, we just tell our runners to stay extra sharp. We don't want to antagonize the Wilkersons if we don't have to.
All right, I'll let everybody know. You watch yourself out there, too.
Alright, so we lost a little bit of trust with the Wilkersons, but that's not saying much. Let's have a look around this little place. I don't necessarily know if there's going to be something to loot, but yeah, it looks like the place is pretty much dry. We need to get a little bit further down the road. I'd hate to be out here in the country and have to, like, walk back home. Did a bunch of zombies just, like, randomly spawn in front of us? He tried to jump on my car and missed. That's what happens when you don't use your depth perception properly, zombie. Oh no. Ow. Well, that was a little wild and crazy.
As a reminder to all citizens of Marshall, until the current crisis is over, possession of firearms by civilians has been declared unlawful. Any civilians currently in possession of firearms have a 2-day grace period to surrender them to the sheriff or one of his duly appointed deputies.
Might want to head down to the courthouse and see what's going on.
Okay, so that's an interesting declaration right there, because that puts us automatically at odds with everybody else that decides to be on the side of the judge. So we'll have to think about the way that we go about kind of talking to our neighbors and stuff like that, because we are outside the law right now from what I can tell, because we are packing heat like crazy. We are packing heat like a $2 7-Eleven chimichanga after it was microwaved. And that was a really, really long simile. Sometimes with a simile, you just gotta take it, and you just gotta run it like a big old long ribbon down the street. It's the only way you'll ever conclude it. I suppose we'll head back now. And then, they want us, you guys missed the cinematic, because right when I turned the game on, it started the cinematic, which makes LPing this game kind of difficult, because every time I do it, like, you can't really record the video as of yet, but the moment you get into the game, they start doing crazy cinematics or doing these little conversations. Lily and her brother had an argument right before I started recording about whether or not we should go out and find some new homes. And I think we're going to actually do that right now, because we have to go down and talk to the judge anyways. So let's just get it out of the way while we're here. We'll go on a long adventure and see if we can get things to work out. While we're down there, there are other things to handle. So I think this is probably going to be a pretty good use of our time anyways. Why are people snooping by windows over there?
My hero.
Alright, let's go talk to Jacob Ritter.
Should we?
Nah. Let her cool down. She'll come around eventually. Might not be a bad idea to get out of here for a while, though. You feel like going house hunting?
I'm going to grab multiple weapons for this next little bit. Yeah, get the pipe wrench, the plumber's wrench, so that we can get our Mario on if we really need to.
I'm on it.
Cool. Let's head down towards Marshall. I think I know a place that might suit us. Or we can just drive around for a while and see what we see. Your call.
God, girl looks like she got a haircut from a badger. Every time that's the like 90% of the reason why I picked this character is just because of her goofy hair. It brings me joy. It makes me happy in a dark world. We're going to take something fast to get down there, because this is a really long drive. Yeah, let's take this car. I think this is going to be the best option. We're going to try not to hit zombies on the way down there. Here, get in the car now. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, so let's head off down the road, and I think the quickest way to get down to the courthouse, at least in my experience, is to hop a righty right here. That's how I prefer to get there anyways, so that's what we're going to do. Taking the left route gives you a really, really roundabout way of getting to the same location, and for whatever reason, it always seems to take a lot longer. The arrow's pointing to the south, but you guys will see what I mean once we get around this way. Or actually, I took the wrong turn. Never mind. I took the wrong turn. Let's back up for just a moment. Hello, Horde. They're so happy to see me. That must be what it's like to own a really, really good dog. Like when you get home, it's just really excited to see you. Zombies are the same way, but they just want to bite you, and you know, your dog wants a hug. He's like, he wants a doggy hug, whereas zombies want hugs of a more dubious nature. Let's head off down. Yeah, the right is going to be, that's right, it's right past the diner. Literally right past the diner. Spin out. Is this
So what was that with you and Lily?
It's a long story.
Not much on the radio to fill the time.
Good point. Our mom died when I was 13. Lily was 9.
Sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, not long after that was when Lily was diagnosed. Our dad, he's kind of a wreck. I had to pick up a lot of that slack. Jacob, I need you to be a man. Help take care of your sister. You know what I mean? It was a lot for a kid to live up to. I didn't handle it well. And as soon as I turned 18, I told my dad that I was moving to Danforth and I was going to college.
What happened?
Oh, man, he blew up. We had a huge fight, didn't talk for years after that. I finally got back in touch with him just a couple of months ago, actually. And this is my first visit home. Anyway, I don't think Lily's quite forgiven me yet.
Yeah, aerial kill. There we go. That's I couldn't resist. I messed up the hood of my car, but I had to get like a mid-air kill on a zombie with the car. It was just necessary. And so that's the little shortcut that I like to take. I mean, obviously it's not a hidden shortcut or anything, but if you can cut that corner right there, it will save you a huge grip of time versus going all the way around this ridiculous like Mario Kart course out here. As much as I enjoy Mario Kart when I'm trying to film, I prefer to keep these drive sequences brief if we can, just because nobody wants to. I mean, there's a little bit of storyline, but if you gotta, oh, there's a nice little bout of chunking. Let's go around. Actually, no, we can go through this way. Either or, but I'm gonna go this way. We're gonna check out some of these houses down in here, and I'm gonna try and do this in a linear fashion. So what I mean by that is I'm gonna try not to jump into the best house possible right in the beginning. We can, if I gather enough supplies, we can go straight to the best house in the game. And I think that kind of takes the fun away. So here it is on the right.
That's the kind of place that we could really stretch out in.
Yeah. But can you imagine how many people we need to keep it secure?
So there's the first site. There's another one over here. And this one is a house that I've never actually bought or used. So I think it's going to be the one that we choose, just so that I can expand my knowledge of the game a little bit more. Also, now that we're in the big city, we need to start being a tad more careful about some of the rare zombies. Now that we're down here, they tend to show up a bit more frequently.
Well, what do you think? Check this place out. It's got a big yard, a privacy wall that we could fortify pretty easily, and check out that tree fort. We could turn that into a watchtower easy.
You seem awfully excited about this place.
Yeah, well, when I was a kid, my best friend Sally, she lived in this house. And I was so jealous. I always wanted to live here.
Well then, let's take a look inside.
Jesus!
I can't see. Help me.
What the hell was that?
I'm not sure.
That didn't look like any disease I've ever seen. You? Maybe we ought to go, huh?
Nah, not before we have a look around. Where's your sense of adventure, amigo? We gotta get in here. I'm wearing boots right now, and when you are wearing cowboy boots, one of the fundamental tenets of cowboy boots is that you don't run away and you do really, really manly stuff. I mean, Chuck Norris, Walker, Texas Ranger, cowboy boots all the time. That's right, my friends. And so when I rock the cowboy boots, we get it done. We get her done. I guess it wants me to leave the area now, so let's get on out of here. And I actually think that we can ditch Jacob Ritter the second we get outside like this radius, and then we can go back and deal with the judge.
Well, that's a few options at least. There might be more out there if you look around.
I'll think about it.
Sure. Big decision, I get it. Just remember, tree fort.
Just remember tree fort. That sounds like good advice for life, to be honest. Let's go talk to the judge down here, because we're already in the vicinity. We're overextended at the moment, which means we're nowhere near our help and supply. Bad things will happen if we get cut off down here. We have no backup. So let's see if we can make some new friends really quickly. I think they are across the bridge and to the right. Yeah. I've definitely been trying from the first couple episodes, you guys know.
I don't want to panic you, but we may have a problem.
What happened?
I've been talking to some of the other survivors. A bunch of them are talking about some new disease that's been hitting their people.
I think we just saw it.
Yeah? Well, better stock up on meds. Pastor Will's not looking so great.
Awesome. How are we going to get our words of inspiration if Pastor Will dies? That's not okay. Oh, this guy is looking stacked.
All due respect, Your Honor, we're stretched too thin as it is. You got half my guys guarding the dispensary instead of out there pushing these things back.
I understand the difficulties, Sheriff, but I don't know what you expect me to do about it. We only have so many trained officers left, and I'm not comfortable with the prospect of arming civilians for this kind of work.
If you'd let me start training them,
We'll discuss this later, Sheriff. We have a visitor. Welcome. I suppose you've heard our broadcasts? Well, it's all true. We have a safe, secure society here, governed by the rule of law. Walk with me. I'll explain.
You have a society? I'm sorry. What exactly happened to the United States while I wasn't looking?
Look around. We're facing a disaster of unprecedented scale. We have no way of knowing how widespread it is, or how long it will take federal authorities to respond. Until they do, we have to look out for ourselves. It may not be the most constitutionally traditional succession, but it's all we have.
All we have. The army's camped just across the river.
Yes, and other than vaguely threatening radio broadcasts, they've made no attempt to contact us or provide relief efforts to the civilian government. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens like yourselves are living in fear. Fear of the dead. Fear of the criminal element that sees this as an opportunity to prey on their fellow man. Fear of the uncertain future of our nation. But it doesn't have to be that way. And of course, all firearms will be surrendered. Only duly appointed law enforcement officers are allowed to go armed.
Right. Well, thanks for the offer. But we're doing just fine on our own. And I'm damn sure not surrendering my weapon when the streets are full of flesh-eating dead people.
I'm very sorry to hear that. We'd certainly prefer it if people joined us freely, before the issue has to be forced.
Is that a threat?
Just a reminder that the Wild West doesn't last forever.
Yeah, but it's about to spark back up. Especially with that attitude. You best watch out, Judge.
She's under a lot of strain. We're penned in pretty good by these things, and like you might have heard, we're short-handed. Tell you what, help me clear some of these problem areas out, and I'll vouch for you. Put in a good word, maybe set up some kind of trade arrangement.
Okay, so we've got a quest called Civic Duty that has showed up. Never done my Civic Duty, but I did make a duty in a Civic once. They're kind of similar. Let me figure out... Oh, storage cabinet. Let me see what I can... Yeah, give me some of your stuff. What kind of stuff you got in here? No bullets. Just... Wow, you guys have, like, no supplies. These guys are way worse off than we are. No, we're not going to join their society. Nope. Their society seems infinitely low on Twinkies, and that's a society that I am just not prepared to be a part of yet. Jump the fence here. Get back to our vehicle, and then we'll start thinking about some of the things we might
be able to hold off another attack if we're lucky. And you know what's awesome? Outposts. We should set up more.
Yeah, we do have some other things to contend with, though. You may want to check out some of these buildings and maybe bring something back with me. Let me have a look. Our construction supplies are okay, but moving to a new home is expensive. We need 8 people and 30 materials to make the jump to the Savini residence. Also, what is this down the street? It looks like there's a big old building over here. We might conceivably check this out as a possible place to live. Is it a school? What is that? Is there a way in? No. No, sir, you will not have... Nope, no, get up. He's doing a stunt, man. Oh, and down he goes. I guess the school must not be finished yet, because the game is still in pre-development, so it's something to think about. Let's maybe see if we can figure out a place to get some construction supplies before we head back. This building over here seems like it has reasonable potential. And drop stomped. Alright, so we got a bunch of zombies in this building, at least some making a racket. Let me kill the one up front. From there we'll figure out, maybe only 2. I think they were just trying to get in that door and it sounded really loud and scary. It's saying that the mini-mart is a food location, but I definitely see a crate of supplies here in the back. Let's have a look. See what we can get our hands on. There's a horde nearby, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to search very, very quietly. I'm gonna have to be discreet, to say the least. Found nothing. Ah, we got stiffed, my friends. We've been stiffed. Well, I'm trying to look at that window. Front door's open. Let's get low. They're close, but they're not close enough to make eye contact yet. Food isn't really something that I'm concerned about, but it's never too early to kind of scout out locations and get them marked down on the map. that does leave us with other locations that we can hit up later if we find ourselves in need of certain things. So there's a note and some Twinkies. I'll take those. Let's check their little low freezer here and see if there's anything else. Want to be really quiet because of that horde that's coming by. And as soon as this place is finished off, we'll see if we can find another location with a construction rucksack. Alright, so we finished that. Her wits appear to have recovered. But the zombies are right there by the front door. Is this open right here? Oh good, it's a snack bar. It's been a while since I've seen one of those. I haven't been to a baseball game in a long, long time. Actually, that's something to think about. The back of these bathrooms typically have construction crates in a little maintenance room. Let's see if maybe we can sneak our way across here and get our hands on some supplies. I do want to keep her cardio moving up because she makes a really good outbound scout based on that. Let's wait for these zombies to get a bit closer, and then I'm going to let her get some stamina back. We do have food supplies on hand, so I'll put the snacks right there just in case we need them. In general, I try to avoid using any of that stuff just so other people can have it if they need it. Drop kick this fella over the fence, and he landed on his head and died. Coincidence was in our favor. Oh, through the door like a badass. Drop kick that one really quickly. Take her head off. Looks like this is actually going to be a fuel location. I don't know how we know that there's fuel here because I haven't searched anything, but I suppose there's fuel here. The game wants me to know, therefore it is so. There's actually nobody in the back here either. God. It's the cowboy boots, it's gotta be.
Sounds like I've got company.
Seems possible. Zombies do seem to be no spitting or cursing allowed. You're on a baseball field. You've just eliminated like 98% of the activities that take place on a baseball field. I remember my baseball days. Spitting and cursing, that's like... I mean, of all the things baseball players know how to do, that's like the icing on the cake right there. That's kind of why you go into the business. But I guess we're out of time for now. I'm going to drive back home, and I'm going to do it off camera. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for another episode. Oh, God! Another episode of State of Decay. I hope you guys are continuing to enjoy the series. From your comments and everything else, you guys have been helping me out tremendously with getting better at the game. I have been playing a lot on my own, too, to help out, so something to be thinking about. And drop stomp! And then we'll go ahead and handle these zombies, and I will do this proper. Yeah, I know you've got nothing left, but neither does he. He doesn't even have a skull. At least you've got a skull left. I'll see you guys next time, and take care out there, everybody.